Hey guys, I'm Karina.
I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to the L.A.T.E podcast. The law according to Eric. All right, so Eric, you want to tell them what the topic is today?
Yes, so we decided to put out a bonus episode because we missed a week due to illness. And this, of course, is Jennifer and Karina's way of getting back at me for making them do another podcast early in the week. This one apparently is all about horrible bosses.
Yes.
Right. I don't know any personally, but I'm sure the interweb has all sorts of stories.
Yes.
But but honestly, I mean, just keeping in that whole mood, just before we get into the stories and, what would Eric do in the Am I an Asshole and all that stuff. I'm really curious what you guys think, because I had somebody, I'm being serious now. I had somebody tell me earlier in the week that I'm a guy that thinks he knows everything. And I don't think that's true, because I thought I was wrong once.
Oh, God.
But I wasn't. I win. That was my dad joke.
What's the worst combination of illnesses? Do you have any idea?
No.
Alzheimer's and diarrhea. You're running, but you can't remember where.
Oh, that's so you. That's so savage. Oh my gosh.
Jennifer.
Oh, yeah. My boss told me I needed to get tested because I called in sick yesterday with the case of the coronavirus. I told him I had a case of corona and wasn't coming into work. I never said anything about a virus.
No. Like the Corona beer.
I got it. There are no words for how bad that was. Oh my God.
You're a hater.
Wow. That wasn't even that was like a great uncle joke. It wasn't even like
You're so mean. He's a bully. He's a sassy man today.
A horrible boss, right? Yeah,
okay. First story is what would Eric do?
All right.
Title is Horrible Situation Under a Verbally Abusive Boss. This is in California.
Oh, okay.
I work at a fairly large company and we do sales. My boss is a lot, but let's stick with experience. Almost daily, he threatens to fire me. He verbally berates me publicly, thinking it's funny. He negatively reinforces me daily. He says my sales suck or I must be taking credit for someone else. He sets unattainable goals for me with the threat of write-ups for not meeting them. He calls me useless for things out of my control, like how much money I take over the counter, especially when the majority of people use cards now. He threatens to replace me with the kiosk stand, stating it will make more money. I recently had emergency surgery and had to be out of work for a month of recovery. Since I've been back, he has belittled my situation, making fun of me for having to take pain pills, jokingly offered to buy me extra pills, and has made fun of me to everyone in a meeting and told them I'm having period cramps. I'm a guy. And that's why I'm off. I was off for a little over a month and I do sales, so I started the month underwater in returns, but I still have raised above 3 others who have been here the whole time in numbers. So I guess he's pretty good, He raised above 3 others. Several people have quit and others are mentally breaking down. The shitty thing is he's BFFs with the DM and his wife runs the HR facet at our building. I really need this job based on pay and location, but I don't know what to do. His behavior has caused me to be so demoralized and it's showing in my work. Half of me wants to try harder, but with the constant threat of being fired, I don't know if it's even worth it. Is there anything that I can do? Are we doing it again?
Yeah, I mean, you guys want to go first? We don't have to always stick to that format, but I'm going to have a lot to say about this, assuming everything he wrote is true.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and unless that's the only job where he lives, I'm curious why he's still there.
Yeah.
That boss sounds like a real serious asshole.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, he said he's just there because of pay and location, but I'm pretty sure there are more jobs in the area. I don't think he should say it. It's just very, it's toxic.
Look, I'm just curious if the guy has enough dresses to put on, because he's such a bitch, to find a new job. No,
I wish you could all see Jennifer's face.
I know. No. Look, I'm sorry. I was just joking about that. But here's the thing. So I've known people that worked in high volume, high pressure sales jobs like timeshares and stuff like that. I know that culture is often toxic. There's like really unhealthy competition. The managers who typically get like a percentage override on the sales that are conducted by their subordinates often think that, or maybe they're trained to engage in these types of tactics because they think it's going to motivate people.
Right.
That might have been true like in 1968 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's real today. Belittling somebody, making fun of a medical condition, making fun of them by saying they have their period when they know physically it's impossible, which is clearly meant to be a put down.
Yeah.
Those are all ways in which what is called a hostile work environment is created and maintained, assuming that the guy really is like the district manager is friends with the owner or this guy and the HR. Sounds like a lot of nepotism. There may not, his complaints may fall on deaf ears. He probably has a duty to actually do a report before he takes other action,
right?
And give the company an opportunity to sort of remedy this environment. I would speak to a labor attorney. The constant threat of being fired, especially when you're out sick.
Yeah.
The threat of or being belittled, being made fun of in front of coworkers. These are all big no-nos. You would think that people that run or manage successful businesses would know, but you'd be surprised in how many people know but either don't give a shit or think they're untouchable
because of how much money
and because they know these people need their jobs. But sales is a skill.
Yeah.
To be honest, right? A good salesman is not always easy to find. And if he's really good and he's able to produce, I'm sure there are similar companies that sell similar products out there. So I would start my job search.
And it's California. There's so many places you can work at.
I would definitely make a point to kind of hold them to task. That that kind of environment is not acceptable, especially if he's singled out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not justifying it, but if this particular manager did that to everybody, so okay, it's not okay and it's not proper, but clearly that's just his style.
Yeah.
Maybe he's an idiot, right? Maybe he feels protected. But if he's really singling this guy out on purpose, then there's something more to it. And I would take some legal steps.
Yeah.
You should never let anyone abuse you like that.
Yeah,
Even if it's your boss, you got to stand up for yourself.
All right. Next one. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for keying my shitty boss's car?
There's no cameras in the parking lot.
Oh, it wasn't in the parking lot. I work as a dental assistant. Worked at the same place for 14 years. Pay and work has been pretty nice for the last 13. Before the new owner came into our lives around a year ago. Initially, the new owner seemed nice, really positive and whatnot. At first view, he just came off as a flirty, charming old guy kind of way, I guess. So the first 4 months went smoothly from what I can see. 5th month, I'm starting to see the patients coming out of this guy's office in minor distress. Hard to notice it at first, but one of the secretaries makes me aware of it, and then it's unavoidable to see. One of the old timers came out very angry, confided to one of the secretaries that this guy has serious attitude problems. Turns out he had really been demeaning to this guy. This happened multiple times throughout the months. Most patients just didn't want to talk about it. One day, one of the secretaries tells me that she has increasing amounts of phone calls of people wondering about the high bills they're receiving. Turns out Mr. Bossman is the one generating the higher bill. He does this in a not exactly illegal way, but highly unethical. He adds the most expensive materials, he x-rays the shits out of everything, although not called for, and so on. He is sweeping in probably around $3,000 to $4,000 more than he should a month, while really not adding to the treatment of his own cost. The customer takes the bill, so a while back I came in from the kitchen, and I see this guy brushing into one of the secretary's asses. The secretary is quite young girl and new to the office, around 26 years old. He notices me and just strides along smiling as nothing ever happened. The secretary is standing stiff, looking bothered, and her eyes are down. I ask what's up and she just breaks down in tears. Turns out this guy has been making approaches at her for weeks. She had told him that she was in a happy relationship, but he didn't let go and had basically been saying good luck on getting another job here without moving out of state. Like basically threatening the whole city, I guess, against him. She didn't know what to do as she has not a lot of education and is really depending on a good reference if she were to move. The shit pissed me right off. This guy has thrown this office out of balance. However, he is the owner, and the new owners in this part of the country is hard to come by. Legal actions against this guy would and should be taken, but the truth is it will fuck all of us up in some way or another. The next day, my passive anger kept growing on me. And one night, I snuck up to this guy's house and keyed some good and deep fucking ripples into the door of this guy's smooth-ass black 2000s Porsche 911 Turbo. Bossman came in red and flustered to the office the next day. He couldn't stop talking about how shitty this town is and how he should never came here in the first place. Got his car sprayed decently fast and now is starting to chill down again. So am I the asshole here?
I think we've all like been there mentally, where someone pushed our
Yeah.
buttons to that extent,
Yeah.
but probably not the best way to get revenge.
Yeah. Also, the guy apologized. English wasn't his first language, so that's why it was kind of,
Like
the
written
language.
like an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Honestly, I don't think he's the asshole. I think it would have been better if the girl did it. That I would have said.
Well, hold on.
But probably that didn't solve the problem.
Right. There's a difference between approving what he did, like internally, thinking, yeah, go defend the small, the little guy and fuck this boss, and but that's a different question. Is he the asshole for doing that? Maybe. It's not about the expensive car or teaching him a lesson.
Right.
He wanted to do something to sort of combat this terrible situation. Maybe he's chivalrous. He thought maybe this is how he stands up for that secretary in a way. Clearly, this person, if he's any kind of clinician, he probably shouldn't be. He doesn't. I mean, based on what this person is writing, he doesn't have a bedside manner of any way, makes patients uncomfortable. Now, the unethical billing for ordering treatments or services that are unneeded or unnecessary could land him in jail. I mean, that's a crime.
Yeah.
That's fraud. It's Medicare fraud or insurance fraud. This is not the first physician, like a small local doctor or a small office like a radiology clinic that's been caught up in that, especially because Medicare and Medicaid pay out so frequently and they don't scrutinize a lot of bills. People were doing that for years, and eventually they started getting, tougher on it. But I don't know if he's really the asshole. I mean, it's kind of a shitty thing to do, but I think this guy clearly deserved that, maybe worse.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of stay neutral. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure Reddit's wrong, whatever they say, but because they always
Reddit
are.
said everyone sucks here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. There is no, I mean, I just think that the boss sucks more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If he's harassing his employees, he's overbilling these patients, he's rude to the older elderly patients that are clearly there for some medical service. Guy probably shouldn't be licensed or practicing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that he deserves to have his personal property, damaged. But, what can I tell you?
All right. Next one is what would Eric do?
Right.
The title of this one is horrible boss / hostile workplace / bullying / never paid correctly. That's just the title.
You sure there's only 4 of those slashes? Okay.
That's how they named it.
/ I'm trying to waste Eric's time with this long ass, intro, but okay, go ahead. Let's see what you can already tell what I think I'm going to do, but go ahead.
I, 22 male, have been working with the company for the last 5 years, and the first few were all right. A little over 8 months ago, I negotiated a raise, which included tuition reimbursement, and was feeling really good about it until I got my first paycheck that should have reflected my raise. The agreed upon new hourly rate was not applied, and when I asked my manager, 47 female, she said that she had just changed her mind. I pushed back at this, and she folded, basically reissuing the check at the agreed upon rate. Every check since then has been incorrect. It's had different hourly rates applied to it, or it's just incorrect hours so that I would effectively be getting paid at the rate I was getting before. I've had to dispute every single check since the raise, and usually a follow-up check is issued by the company, making up the difference. So fast forward to today. I walk into work and she is already angry about some issue, and I entered into her field of view, and thus became a target of her anger. At best, she is patronizing, rude, and a bully. At worst, she is threatening and aggressive. Today I had enough, so with professionalism, I was firm that she should not treat me the way she was treating me, and that I would be happy to address the task at hand. After that, she fired me. I requested a final check if I was being fired and submitted my hours to her. She basically told me that she was not going to pay me those hours and that I owed the company more than it owed me. She pulled out the tuition reimbursement receipts and said that I owed the company what they paid towards my education. He put this in parentheses. Tuition reimbursement was a function of my raise, and there was no obligation to the company further than working there. She also said, if I were you, I would graciously accept the check I'm going to give you, which is much less than the hours I've worked. If you want to fight me on this, I will fight you back. I feel like I'm being bullied out of my final check and threatened. What should I do?
I mean, I know what he should do, but you guys want to...
Let me guess. It involves a labor attorney. I'm sorry to think these Reddit posts should come with like Reddit attorney.
Yeah, I should start charging referral fees. Put some names out there. But.
Yes, I don't know. Does it matter if it's in his contract about the education?
That's the only thing that matters in this case, to be honest, is how that raise was negotiated and if anything was put in writing. I will tell you that there are some companies, in fact, I worked for one long before I was an attorney, that also had a tuition reimbursement program and I was able to submit for it, but I had to be there a certain period of time and I had to actually graduate. If I didn't graduate, I owed them the money back, but that was all put into my employment agreement, right? So that was well documented in writing. If the tuition reimbursement is not conditioned on anything.
It says it wasn't.
No, I know what he's saying. I'm just saying if that's correct, then they don't have, the company has no grounds to demand it back. Number one. Number two, whether or not they unintentionally or intentionally messed up his hourly rates or whatever, when you're terminated, and it sounds like he was not terminated for cause, but if you're terminated, you are given your check right then and there. And in fact, in the past, when this law firm has had to let go of employees, we would do it in advance so that we would order their final check and have it ready from like our payroll service. And we would pay them up to that day. And we would even have them stay longer, right? And make their day of termination their last day of the pay period and then hand them their check right there on the spot. When, at least in California, when people resign, the company has 3 business days to get them their check. When they're fired, the presumption is that's planned and their final check is to be handed to them. The fact that she's trying to shortchange this guy, no. And she's, I'm going to fight you back. Fuck her. You know what? He should fight her. And he may not even need a labor attorney. He should just go to the labor board of his state and say, this is what they did. Here's the deal. This is what they owe me. Not only will they have to pay him, they're going to get penalized and he may get treble damages depending on what state he's in.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even realize you could. There was a labor board.
Absolutely. You can go to every state has a labor board or a labor department. You can go to the labor board or the labor commissioner, whatever state you're in, whatever they call it. You can file a formal complaint. Say, I was terminated on this day. I believe it was without cause. Nonetheless, it's a separate issue. Here's what my hourly was. Here's the deal we made. Here's how many times they screwed me on this paycheck. And now the final one, they're trying to claim that I somehow owe them and I should just take less and be happy. Fuck them.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah, that's insane.
Let me show you my grateful nuts as I drag you, right? I'm serious. As I drag them across your face, through the labor board, right? Yeah, bullshit. You can't do that. You can fire people. In California is an at-will state. I don't know where this is, but I'm saying California. You can fire people for any reason as long as it's not based on gender, religion, sexual orientation, ethnicity. I can literally say, good morning. I don't like your face. You're gone. I can do that. What I can't do, I can't change the rules. I can't go back on something I already agreed to. And I can't shortchange somebody's hours under any circumstances. So what would Eric do? Eric would call the labor board of that state. Eric would file a fat complaint.
Yep. Oh yeah, that guy should fight. I mean, heck, I fight over like a $5, bank charge. So that guy should definitely take it to the next level.
Yeah. And being told like you should be grateful you're even getting a check. Like fuck off, he worked for that money. What do you mean?
It's not. Yeah, that's just her. She's just trying to flex, scare the guy. He's only 22. He started when he was 17. Apparently, bullshit. He has way more rights than he realizes. Yeah. I cannot imagine there's a state in the union that doesn't have a similar law to California when somebody is terminated. So yeah, I think he's got all sorts of remedies at his disposal.
All right. Next one is am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling HR all the lewd and horrible things my boss has done even though I quit? So to start, I liked my boss and I liked my job. I was a cleaner at a gym, nothing glamorous, and it didn't pay very well. But it was a good place to work and good people. I got along with everyone. I was up for a promotion. Then, 3 days ago, one assistant general manager and one sales member both started berating me.
Can I? Hold on, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I got to ask this question. What is the next step up in a promotion from gym cleaner? Are you like the supervising cleaner?
Maybe.
I mean, do you get to mix the solutions? Like what is, I'm just saying, I'm sorry to say.
I have no idea.
Like what in the chain of command at the gym, right? What's above the next,
We don't need to put down this.
I'm not putting the brother down. I'm just saying. Well, he's like, I'm up for promotion. Promotion to what?
What if he wasn't going to clean anymore? He could have been like the front
desk
that's why
person, I'm legitimately asking, what's the next step from being a cleaner?
Okay,
I'm just thinking.
Maybe the person's in great shape.
He's going to be one of the personal trainers.
I'm just seeing. That's all.
Okay, continuing.
Go ahead.
So they started berating him, asking what he was doing, where have you been? We thought you left, like all of this other stuff. This was all 35 minutes into my shift. I reached out to my boss and she said she would come in. I got heated and I don't take being yelled at by anybody. I told them to fuck off and I walked away. She comes in and we all talk and she tells me to clock out and go home. After all I did for her in my many, many ways beyond my job description, I was shocked. I don't know what that meant, but
Yeah, and I don't know why he's shocked. It's actually an appropriate thing to do when there's hostility, but okay.
Mm-hmm. And I was pissed. I texted her that I quit and I don't need this in anger. And she blocked me on everything: phone, group chats, company WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. So I called HR and told them everything she has done. I had screenshots of her being racist, of her telling stories she told in front of other staffs about how her boss is a raging alcoholic, and she cited stories that I guess he confided in her. Sex at the gym with other staff on equipment after the gym had closed, lack of supplies,
Here we go.
communication, etc. And I sent and told them all over to HR. Even though I don't work there, I feel bad just a little bit. But was I in the wrong to do so? Do you think I'm the asshole?
Well, go on, come on, girl power. Right, come on, girl power. Here we
This
go.
podcast should be like 50 ways to get revenge on your boss. No, I get it. I understand being angry, but it's just, is that effective? It doesn't. If you're gonna get revenge, do something that's effective. Report your boss, or get an attorney, or do something.
I just feel that he should have reported this. If he really wanted to report this, or she, whatever it was, why not report it when it happened? And does it really count now that they've quit? I was saying that I think that if he was going to go say something, it should have been in the moment. He shouldn't have waited, because now it's going to seem unprofessional, one, on his side. And two, it's going to look like revenge. That it's like, oh, he quit his job. He didn't like how he was treated, quit his job. And now he wants to bring all of this up. And it might not even be like, believed at this point.
Well, but let's assume it's true.
Right.
It's definitely retaliatory. I mean, he kind of says as much towards the end.
Yeah.
But when he was sent home, which, by the way, is not an out of pocket or out of bounds thing to do. Mm-hmm. There's hostility there. Whoever the person believes may be causing the hostility or fueling it, clock out, go home. We'll deal with this later. That was not out of line.
Yeah.
The idea that he's got all this dirt on her and he reports it. Oh, and by the way, blocking him from all that stuff, that's normal.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't want to give somebody, especially a disgruntled employee, access to your corporate intranet or whatever, your employee like chat groups, all that kind of stuff. And I know that's a popular way that companies do things now, like WhatsApp groups and so on. So I get that. Is he the asshole? Honestly, yeah. But not because he should be mistreated or put up with that kind of stuff. It's just that he made the decision to quit. Mm-hmm. If he had been fired, and wrongfully so, and he's like, you know what? No problem. That's one thing. But he decided that he was going to put on his big boy pants and, hey, I quit and I don't need this bullshit. Then fucking go. Yeah. Right? Why would you drag somebody into something? Maybe it's true. Maybe it isn't. We don't know. Mm-hmm. This is somebody's reputation, especially the thing about sex after hours with other employees. Again, I'm assuming he wasn't there to witness it. So clearly, in my mind, this is some kind of word of mouth or a rumor, right? This is a woman's reputation. Yeah. Her job, she's in a supervisory capacity. So clearly this is not something part-time for her. Mm-hmm. So I think he's the asshole for doing that. I don't think she's a horrible boss, by the way. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I feel like he just took it just up the ass, and it just wasn't, it wasn't that serious. Oh my. Okay. No, but honestly, I feel you. I know.
It was not that serious. If he was upset, if he shouldn't have escalated it, just tell him to fuck off and do all of that. It wasn't. He should have just taken the day off, clock out, go home.
Well, I mean, I guess he's gonna, not get that promotion now.
Well, he's not gonna get shit now because he quit. And even he said it. He put, "I quit in anger." Well, quitting
tough shit, right?
Doesn't matter. You fucking quit.
Yeah, that's what you get for letting your inner child get the best of you.
Yeah, it's very dangerous to make decisions when you're angry. Yeah. Do not ever make a decision when you're upset or angry or sad. That's the best advice I can give anyone out there, because you need to think things through. Yeah. Give yourself a timeout.
He should have just taken the day that he was sent home, calm down, request a meeting at like I'm going to come back to work tomorrow, but I'd really like to discuss all this. Honestly, I'm a little offended at how this went down. That would have been the end of it. Maybe he keeps the job, maybe he still quits, whatever. But the way he handled it, to me, he's the asshole. Mm-hmm. Plus, I don't mean to be a jerk, but you know what? Snitches get stitches. But that's a saying, but it's true. Don't be a bitch. Yeah. Right? No, but that's a real code. Look, that's a guy code, okay? You don't rat, you don't snitch, but live and let live. Right? He fucking quit. They didn't fire him. He has no reason to retaliate. He made a decision. He made a rash decision. he probably regrets it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can't get another gym cleaner job that quickly or whatever. But to me, yeah, he was the asshole. Yeah, we keep cutting in and out. So
Yeah.
to our now almost 700 listeners,
Yes.
we're sorry, but you know what? It's a bonus episode anyway, so fuck off.
And if you're all in LA, you know how bad the weather is.
That's
why.
right.
So
First sickness, now floods and storms.
I know.
And we're still putting out content.
Exactly.
That's right. We're trying to get to 1,000. Don't forget the bird story. All right, go ahead.
All right. So
Next
the next one is called Girlfriend's Boss is Horrible. So
Girlfriend's boss.
Yes.
Not even his own.
No, his girlfriend's boss.
Okay, so he's writing it for her?
Yes.
Because she has no balls.
Well, she works at Taco Bell. I don't think she has.
Oh, hell no. Okay. Is this what would Eric do, or is this an
What would Eric do?
All right. Eric quit Taco Bell. But,
So
okay,
my girlfriend works at a Taco Bell as a manager, and her boss is horrible.
Oh, pardonnez-moi. So I guess her boss, like the district manager?
I guess so.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, she and I had been exposed to COVID, and we were waiting on our test to get back to us. We ended up both testing negative, but when she had called her boss to let her know that we needed time off, her boss exploded on her, interrogated her, trying to find out a way to blame my girlfriend. She regularly insults my girlfriend, calls her fat, ugly, and retarded. She tells her to wear makeup and get her eyebrows done because we can't have managers looking like that. One of the new guys spent half an hour in the bathroom bleeding from the face quite severely, and the boss told him to go home and then deleted that hour or so he had already been there, saying that she wasn't paying him for the mediocre work he'd done. There are many other moments that make me angry, but I doubt have any legal issues with them. HR has been contacted about these issues and other issues with other coworkers, but little to no action has been taken. What would you do in this situation?
I'll go. You guys go ahead because it is a very clear cut question.
Yeah, I find another place to work.
Yeah, Taco Bell can't pay her that much.
Yeah, this is not like your dream job.
Yeah.
Probably not the only job in the city.
Exactly.
Go elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eric?
okay, I don't know what state this is,
Mhm.
but there's a practical side of this, and then there's a legal side of it.
Mhm.
Practical side is this: if she has experience managing a fast food restaurant as part of a chain,
Yeah.
there are likely lots of other opportunities at
Mhm.
other places with a different boss, maybe a better culture. And it's like in California and a few other states, but mostly California, for example.
Yeah.
In-N-Out Burger, they pay their managers and team members way, way better than your average fast food.
Yes.
And she can go in with a bunch of experience and look for that. Or other bigger corporations like Burger King, McDonald's, they have these really good tracks for their management.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if Taco Bell's commensurate with that or Del Taco, whatever, but no, I'm being so the practical thing I would do, honestly, I would not continue working for somebody like that.
No.
Making fun of one's appearance. Look, okay, this is going to not win me popularity points with girl power over here. I've never seen an attractive fucking Del Taco or Taco Bell worker or manager. So I'm guessing that this girl's boss is equally fucking ugly, but that may also be why she makes fun of her. You know, she's insecure in herself. Yeah. But this idea, like, put on makeup because manager, it's fucking Taco Bell. Nobody goes in there looking like, scam on ass. They want a cheap fucking meal.
It's like 2 a.m. too, and
That's
I'm
what
drunk
I'm saying,
and I can't even see them.
They just want a cheap, they want cheap fucking stoner food at 2 a.m. 90% of it's at the drive-thru.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, the legal side of it is this. If people believe they may have been exposed to COVID, they have an absolute duty to not potentially infect other people.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get the results. The fact that they were negative is great.
Yeah.
This manager cannot pull hours from people, cannot do that, cannot berate them, him, her, whatever. So I know that the topic is horrible bosses and some of this is funny, but really the idea that people go out of their way to belittle or make fun of others.
All right. So we'll do 2 more. So
yeah.
Let me do.
Let me just say, sorry to our almost nearly 700 listeners now. Really appreciate the support, the ratings. Please keep it coming. We're doing this as a bonus episode anyway because we did miss a week when we were out sick, so we just decided to kind of spur the moment. The weather is very bad here in Los Angeles, and our internet keeps kind of coming and going. So you're going to hear a lot of the rewind sounds and our edit noises.
Yeah.
Apologies. We're going to have the regular episode still drop Friday morning with a new topic. But we wanted to give everybody a bonus. So hang in there with us. We're going to try to get through these next 2 and move on.
Our low budget grassroots turn here.
That's right. When we get to, I'll tell you what, when we get to 2,000, I'll buy a professional microphone and some headphones. right? But we're almost there.
Keeping it real.
Let me thank yes. I just want to add one more thing about this. The Taco Bell witch is just no. It's Taco Bell.
That's Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just I mean, hang in there. I know. I mean, it's what I was saying before. It's. I know this is meant to be kind of comical and all that. It is really offensive and disturbing when people pick on people's looks. People are born the way they're born. They look the way they look.
Mhm.
You don't discriminate against somebody because they have certain physical attributes.
Mhm.
I really, really hate people like that. I'm not as heavy now as I was in the past, but back in the day, I was like 285 pounds. I know I got judgy looks. I was no less nice, no less smart, no less responsible. And so I have a kind of a personal issue with that. Like it really bothers me that when people do that to others. All that matters is her performance, keeping customers happy with their orders, making sure that she fulfills her duties, keeps the cash register counts correct, does whatever deposits they have to do, scheduling, whatever her job is. Her job is not to put on makeup and try to look flashy for the fucking Del Taco or Taco Bell crowd. Yeah. So, but again, as a serious matter, I hate that kind of stuff. Fuck that supervisor. I bet you she's even uglier and fatter than this other lady is. And she should go, die in hell.
And I was always told, like, if you're going to point something out on someone and they can't change that in like 5 minutes, don't point it out. So there's no point in talking about anything else like that. So
the old. I'm gonna share one true personal story, right? Because remember the old saying, like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Okay. It's a true story. Okay. So before I married, who is now my ex-wife, but then it was the person, I was actually engaged to somebody for a brief period of time.
You were?
Yes.
I know that.
Yeah, I was very young, and it didn't last very long. But the first time my parents met her parents, right? It was like a dinner. The next day or 2 days later, she came over to see me at my house, and my mom was home. My mom didn't she was one that always speak her mind. So my ex-girlfriend at the time, she was not the smartest, wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. That's the psycho one that did the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was great. So she says to my mother, "So, what did you think of my parents?" And my mom looks right at her with the straightest of faces and says, "I was taught that if I have nothing nice to say, I should say nothing at all." And then just went back into her fucking room and left it just like that. So yes, my mom, rest in peace, was savage like that when it came to me or my brother, and nobody fucked with her boys. She did not like this girl and did not care for her family.
She kept it real. I love that.
Yes. So, but having said that, the idea like, put on makeup and it's fucking Taco Bell, first of all. Second of all, don't fucking judge other people. What are you? You're one fucking step above this gal at the Taco Bell. And this girl has a boyfriend. Yeah. Right? I don't know.
Someone liked her.
Yeah. There's somebody out there for everybody. Yes. So.
Not for the bitch that's.
No, you're right. Fuck that. So sorry for going on the tangent, but I just, that kind of stuff really does bother me. So,
okay.
All right.
On to our second to last story.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for refusing to accept my daughter's relationship with her married or older boss?
No. Sorry, but no. No, he's not. I have daughters. Two of them.
He's a guy too. He's a dad.
And both are adults. Yeah. I already know. I don't need to hear the whole thing. Oh, fuck.
I have a daughter, Lucy, and she's 23. Lucy graduated from university.
Is Lucy loose? Sorry. Lucy's easy. Sorry, okay. Just
much fun with this.
I can't. It's because every dad's fucking nightmare.
I know.
Right.
I know.
Like it's not even like they're not the same religion or no. It's fucking older, married, like with kids.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
So she graduated from university last year and she started working at a company. It wasn't the job related to her degree, but she wanted some full-time work experience before she seriously looked for a job relevant to her degree. She settled in really well, was making good money, and seemed happy. She even started paying me rent, entirely her choice, because she says she wanted to pay me back for the 4 years that I supported her through the university. Her mom died when she was young, so I've been a single dad to her and her brother Josh, 22, most of their lives. Anyways, on to the story. My son came around for a family dinner as he lives 2 hours away a little while ago. He asked how we were and what we were up to, and Lucy stunned us by revealing that she was dating someone. I was delighted and asked general questions, but she was really vague, only really saying he worked in a decent company and was slightly older. I know what a new relationship is like, so I didn't push my questioning further. A couple of weeks passed with no issues until one day all hell breaks loose. Lucy comes home from work one day saying her boss's wife has been harassing her and being abusive towards her. She claims to have done nothing wrong, and obviously I initially believed her since she's my little girl. I spent a few hours gently asking her what happened, and her story kept changing, so I started to get suspicious. I asked her what the truth was and why her boss's wife randomly started targeting her, and Lucy revealed it's because she was caught having sex with her boss in their marital bed. She then revealed she wasn't just dating him, but they'd been having an affair for months. Her 41-year-old boss. She told me she loved him and that he was leaving his wife for her, someone young enough to be his daughter. The time afterwards consisted of my daughter being called all names under the sun by the wife and she even introduced me to her boyfriend. I was not impressed and told him that she is too young for him and the fact that he's her boss is creepy. They both showed no signs of giving up their jobs, and I even said I don't accept them dating as it's wrong, creepy, and that the poor wife is the innocent victim in all of this. Lucy tried to get Josh on her side, and he's keeping clear of it all. Lucy is now accusing me of being a horrible dad and an asshole, as I'm not, quote, supporting her and the man she loves, end quote. She has since moved out, and she had moved in with this guy, as she says she doesn't want to be around my toxicity. I told her that I'm uncomfortable with it because he's 18 years older than her and only a couple of years younger than me. I'm literally 48. He is her boss and he was married. She has accused me of also trying to destroy her happiness, and I'm at a loss of what to do. Am I the asshole here?
I think any parent can relate to not knowing what to do when their kid is going out with an asshole. And it's a really, really difficult thing to handle. So my sympathy to this person. And you know what? She sounds like a nice kid because she gave him money, to repay for the rent. She's obviously a good person.
But that money came from...
Yeah, we all know where that money came from.
It wasn't. I don't know.
Like, poor dad is just like, can't sleep thinking about that.
I know. I don't think he's the asshole. I think honestly he should have. It's really out of his control, honestly. But I feel bad for this guy. I wouldn't know what to do if my kid did all this. I'm dying to know what you.
Well,
think
I said this should be what would Eric do, because
it is. Oh no, isn't am I the asshole?
Yeah, because I think there is no clear cut asshole here except the boss. To be honest, So,
what would Eric do?
Well, let me tell you. So, Eric has two daughters, 24 and 21. If this were happening to me, I would probably react worse than this dad. And I would make a scene. But don't forget, I have litigation experience behind me. I would make this a fucking issue.
Right.
I don't know. It sounds like he separated or they moved in together. Did I read
at the end?
Yeah,
the daughter left there and then moved in with him now.
Right, but I'm assuming he doesn't live with his wife.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm guessing, right?
I'm guessing not.
So maybe they are separated. Maybe he really is leaving her. Maybe they are really in love. Look, love is love, right? The heart wants what the heart wants. I understand that. I also think she might be a little young and naive. I don't know if she has a lot of prior dating experience. If this is her first sort of real relationship or maybe she's a little blinded by it. The idea of she's going to start playing house now with this guy, I think it's a huge mistake. I don't know if this guy has his own kids also that he has to deal with. I mean, this is just problematic. And they still continue to work together. Rumors are going to circulate. Coworkers are going to find out. This kind of stuff never stays under the radar that long. And the guy, I mean, I almost feel like he's a predator. I don't know how savvy this young college graduate is. She may not really see if he was grooming her or anything like that. Yes, the 18 to 20 year age difference is a little off-putting, but you can say that, well, if he was 80 and she was 60, would anybody care? And the answer would be no. Right. But so society kind of sets these boundaries that people are expected to follow, but it's not technically illegal. She's over 18. She can make her own choices. I'm not saying I agree with it or support it. And I do think it's kind of weird. And really it is kind of disturbing to see these because for the listeners that don't know, our office is in Beverly Hills, which is a fairly swanky part of Los Angeles. Movies, Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, it's been around, everybody knows Beverly Hills, right? But you see this kind of thing all the time. These nasty, wrinkly, they people that look like they have fucking golf balls for heads, right? With these fucking fitness models,
Instagram models.
rolling around in their Bugattis or their fucking Ferraris. Okay. And you see that kind of stuff all the time. I have never seen that kind of couple where they've been like super affectionate with each other and like you could just see the love pouring out. It's clearly some kind of arrangement, right? The man may be stupid and not understand and just think,
Yeah.
right? But you can tell that this is not, she's not seeing it that way.
Yeah.
So from here in Beverly Hills, we see that kind of stuff all the time,
Yeah.
right? But it so bothers me
Yeah.
when it's because I understand if this is a very old, wealthy man, maybe he's single, like is that Anna Nicole Smith's ex-husband? Remember Anna Nicole Smith, the Playboy model? And,
Yeah.
okay, but he was single, he was old, but he
Yeah.
was super wealthy. He could do whatever he wants. I don't care. This guy was married. He has his own family. He
This is his worker.
a coworker. Again, it feels a little predatory to me.
Yeah.
That's how I would see it as a father, right? As an attorney, right? Because you see these kinds of things in litigation too, and harassment. This has red flags all over the place. I mean, you can't stop her as an adult from seeing this person. She already moved out. She made her decisions. But I understand. I would probably also have a hard time being loving and supportive about this. Yeah. I would not want this guy coming to my house for Sunday dinner with her.
No.
Right. And if he were, then I think he might be surprised at what he sees in his fucking cereal or whatever. Because I don't cook very well, but whatever I'm going to give him. I'm just saying, definitely steer clear of me. So
didn't it say they did the deed in his marital bed?
Yes, and that's where the wife caught them.
Yeah. Okay. So this wasn't an amicable separation to begin with. And you gotta wonder. I understand that she's young, right? But how are you not kind of freaked out about screwing your boss in his wife's bed,
literally,
or their family bed,
literally
in their house? I mean, come on, get a fucking room. I'm being honest now.
They got her room.
I mean, get a hotel, okay? Pretend or stay in the office if you got to work late, like millions of other, I guess, people do during affairs. But for fuck's sake, right? How cheap do you have to be to not spring for even like a no-tell motel?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Hotels.
I mean, come on now. It's almost like they want to get caught.
Yeah.
Or he, like him, like the husband, like he kind of,
seemed like he wanted to get caught.
Right. And that's what I mean, where he might be more of a predator and like kind of, there might be more about this personality. So, and as a father, I would be tuned into that.
Yeah.
So,
because the daughter's 23. That's your oldest daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it's bullshit. And my oldest daughter has a boyfriend. They live together. They're about the same age. I think he's a little younger than her actually, but like they're within a year, I think. Both college grads, the whole thing. He's a very nice guy. If he were 40 something and like her boss, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know what I cannot be held responsible for my actions.
Yeah.
I would, I mean, anybody that knows me really well personally knows I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
With something like that. And by the way, I would be like super savage in that I would employ every fucking employee I have to just fucking put this guy on blast. Troll every social media, his company, everything. This guy, I would shame him to death. I would put him on the virtual sex offender registry of the internet and let the world know that this is a fucking groomer, one step shy of a pedophile.
Yep.
And hope that he ends up in jail and that his paperwork is bad and he takes it in the ass every day for the rest of his life. That's it.
If you do that, your kid's just going to be upset with you.
She's fucking upset anyway. So at least I can save her. Well, that's the point.
Is it going to save her?
I think so. In this case,
towards it.
No, he will be ended legally in a legal way. Okay. And he will be so ashamed. He will have to move to a state where he's not known. I'm serious. I will take this guy down. That's it. Nobody fucks with my babies. So
all right.
That's it.
Go big or go home.
All right. Last one. Title is, are you ready?
All right.
Is it illegal to hire a prostitute for someone else if they don't know? Hi. I have a really horrible boss at work who is extremely sexually frustrated. My coworkers and I want to hire a prostitute to pretend to organically seduce him. If we pay her to go on a date with him and encourage sex, but not require it, and he doesn't know that she's being paid, is that illegal?
So is this what would Eric do?
Yeah,
okay, well, all right, let you guys go first.
So many questions. First of all, how do you even know what the guy wants? You know?
All guys want the same thing.
Well, I don't know. You don't know. He could be gay. You don't know. You don't know what he wants.
Yeah. You're right.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you're assuming you would want a prostitute. but he might not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to think of that one. I think that one's really funny, but in seriousness, that's kind of sad. Yeah.
Okay. Soliciting a prostitution is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the boss could be arrested for that if he doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think, by the way, it is an extremely terrible thing to do. Karina, this is amazing. This is so bad. Hook it up. It's amazing. Don't. This is so wrong on so many levels. I like blondes. Just don't. Just kidding.
Jen, you're a brunette.
I know. I was just joking. No. Look, I know. That's right. That's why I did it on purpose. No, look. In all seriousness, right? I'm going to put subliminal man away. But in all seriousness, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I kind of appreciate the gesture.
It's very amusing.
I mean, if this guy was single, no, I'm saying if this guy was single, right, and maybe he's like shy, not very attractive, maybe he had a bad breakup. I think the idea of them trying to hook him up somehow and make him believe it was like organic, I think comes from a good place.
Yeah.
Okay. I do think, and I understand they're going to benefit if he becomes happier, they become happier.
Yeah.
I get all that. I think it's a very dangerous game to play. You don't, first of all, if the plan worked and they hire a pro who seduces him like she really likes him, it will be crushing to him once he learn. Eventually, he's going to learn the truth.
That. Like, what if he likes this person?
Yeah, he's going to learn the truth because he's going to call her like, "Hey," like, "Yo, can I get your number and hit you up?" And either she gives him fake digits or she's like, "Oh, honey, let me tell you what really went on here." All right.
Well, or she does it, and then at the end of their visit, she's like, "All right, now you have to pay me."
Well, I'm assuming they're going to do that ahead of time because if she's going to like go seduce him,
no, I mean if he calls her again or something.
Oh, right.
Like,
That's
all right, cool.
So, I mean, all jokes aside, again, it's one of those things where I think the gesture is coming from a good place.
Yeah.
I mean, if they like the boss, but they see that he's upset, he's frustrated. I mean, how do they know he's sexually frustrated? And it's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe he said something.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know, but generally speaking, it's probably a bad idea to get your boss a hooker.
Yeah.
Of
it's
any
like getting
kind.
your boss a stripper.
Yeah. Well, no, I
know
my ex law partner. Okay. I don't know if I said that story once.
No, you haven't said it on the podcast. You just told me before.
I just as a birthday gift for my ex law partner, I hired a male stripper to come to the office, and I had him dressed like a cop, and because her son worked there, and I had him like pretend to arrest the son. She does criminal defense, so that was like immediately she like put on her mom and lawyer hat. It was actually very, very funny, and he like put the music on, started dancing, but then she got so mad that she like stormed out and made me like cancel the whole thing. Plus, we had like this one guy that was like a religious zealot that got like really upset too and like walked out. So I probably didn't use good judgment, but statute of limitations is passed on that, so nobody can sue me anymore for it. So fuck them, and they need to get some thick skin. But that's different because there was an office at that time. We had like 15 employees, so it was really meant to be kind of a funny office thing. And by the way, I prearranged it, so all he was going to do was take his shirt off. There was going to be nothing else, right? And nobody knew that, but I knew like it was only going to be so much, right? But this is a little different in that this is actual physical intimacy. Yeah. So again, I think the idea might have been kind of funny but it's probably not a good idea. I think it can have a lot worse repercussions, especially if he does like this woman and doesn't understand she's a pro and, like his self-esteem gets wrongfully inflated. He thinks he's like a player now.
It's like in, I don't know if you watched Big Bang Theory.
I've seen episodes, but
Yeah, there's a point, I think they're trying to get a prostitute for Wallowitz in Vegas, I think they were. And he thought she actually liked him, and that's when he found out, and he was like crushed.
Well, that's what I mean. That could easily happen, especially again if they do it like right now. Yeah. On the other hand, like you see other things like Sopranos, where basically they just bring a guy into a room, like, look, I know you were away in jail. Well, they call it going to college. Like, I know you went to college for the last 8 years. Welcome home.
Yeah,
that's different, and that's
different,
and if they did something like that, like, look, seems to us you're pretty frustrated. Mitzi or whatever, she's in there. Have at it.
Cinnamon is coming in.
Right, yeah. Cinnamon, right. It's all taken care of. That don't laugh. That in the show we're watching, Power or Ghost. Sorry, Ghost. That's Power Book 3 or whatever. One of the characters, her name is Epiphany.
Oh, shit.
She's a stripper, and she was blaming some drama on her other stripper friend, Cinnamon.
See, yes,
and
they're always named Cinnamon. Yes.
Well, Cinnamon did that. Like, oh, okay. So yeah, so right. If cinnamon is in there, like, hey, go have at it. What I might do too is I might be like, look, we're going to do this for you whether you want to or not. So I just need to know what you prefer, right? Just like at least don't make us waste our money. But
That's true.
maybe that
it was nice of them though as a gesture. They were all like, pitching in to
I'm saying
help their intel boss.
yeah.
And I got to be honest, like I don't really know what the going rate for hookers is these days. I'm going to imagine, depending on where they live, that might, because like everything's adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
So a Beverly Hills hooker might be more than like a fucking Little Rock, Arkansas hooker or whatever. I don't know. But it may not even be that
You might
much.
be getting from like a professional one, like top tier.
I'm just saying, but I mean, if like 4 or 5 people pitch in, it may not even be that much.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And they get like a better boss and a better mood. So, hey, I love the originality. Good. Good shot. And I mean, I would never, ever want you guys to do anything like that for me. Ever. That's a big no-no. Right?
Jennifer would kill us.
No, we don't like that. I like natural bodies. I just don't. What? Okay. Anyway, so before we tell them where to hit us all up, I just want to say again, we just wanted to drop a little bonus episode. It's a little bit shorter than usual, but again, this is just kind of a makeup one for the one we missed because we were out sick.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate, we're almost at 700 listeners now. That's really amazing. It's like growing every week, 10, 20%.
Yeah.
Remember, when we get to 1,000, I'm going to give you guys the infamous bird story.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I appreciate all the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Keep hitting us up. Keep reviewing. And Karina, tell them where they can find us.
All right. Thank you all for listening. Remember to follow our show on whatever you're streaming it on and give us a follow on all our social medias. You can find us on the Bensama Confirm on Instagram, Bensama Confirm on TikTok and Twitter. Our website's eblawfirm.us, and you can email us at info@eblawfirm.us. Bye, guys.
Take a minute and think things through. That's my advice today.
Did they put the number down for that hooker in the?
Oh,
Just kidding. All right, bye guys. Have a good week.